visual. They will assault your senses. They are incorporated. They will bend your mind, shatter your sanity, and seal your fate. Lethal Ladies Inc. Try us on for size. We will take your breath away. Watching movies, we will get chick. And the gang, funny, strange, hysterical, or just plain bang bad. This weekend just got amazing. It's a watch-along weekend. Oh, it's sci-fi, comedy, and more. We got it all this weekend. This weekend just got amazing. It's a watch-along weekend. Horror and sci-fi, comedy, and more. We got it all this weekend. Howdy, gang, and welcome to yet another watch along. We're going to get to this here in just a little bit, but as always, I like to do a little housekeeping and get that out of the way before we get started. I am not sure if Candace is going to be able to join me tonight. I had asked her, unfortunately, her mom is sick today. So she may be able to join me, may not be able to join me. But in any event, I'm going to have this watch along, but just wanted to pass that along. Of course, I'm going to, if she does message me and says that she wants to and can be on, I will have to kind of stop and send her the invite, and we'll have to get her queued up and all that good stuff. But that's not a big deal. You know me, I'm flexible. So I've got my energy drink because I was feeling very sleepy earlier this afternoon. And so I don't want to be falling asleep while we're doing this watch along. So hopefully we're going to have some programming coming up this week. Some more new Dick's picks, more cannon fodder, more They're All Messed Up. If me and Candace are able to do a Friday Foolish this next Friday, it will be the second part to our drive-in memories for those of you that enjoyed hearing me and Candace talk about memories from our youth or even memories from a more recent past. Then that's what we will be doing if all goes well and we're able to do a Friday Foolish this week. There won't be any watch-alongs this coming weekend. Hold on one second, folks. One of my dogs is wanting in. Okay, I'm back. Yes, yet again, when you have 5 dogs, sometimes you got to get up and take care of the dogs and tend to them and all that good stuff. Just like when you have kids, you know, sometimes you got to help out your kids or help out your spouse or whatever the case may be. So hopefully, though, I will have lots of good programming coming up. I have another idea for a movie munchies. It's like, geez Louise, Dana, you haven't even done the Children of the Cornbread Salad yet. No, I have not. But I may do a shorter one in the meantime, so that we get one for May. Maybe save Children of the Cornbread Salad for June. Hopefully, I'm going to have a little guest with me, but you'll have to tune in to see who that guest may be. Okay. And if it's a live action guest or is it a cartoon guest, So those aren't live streams. Those are usually pre-recorded videos. So be on the lookout for that. I'm not sure when the next soup and jellos may be. I'm trying to get myself where I'm not so daggone sleepy all the time. I don't know if I'm going to have to get some more vitamins or what the deal is. But June the 6th, I will be turning 49. So I'm not getting any younger, folks. Hopefully, I'll be able to have some more VHS overload, talking about some more VHS cover art. We'll be covering 1983 horror VHS cover art. So hopefully I can get another one of those out. Perhaps there may be some unboxings in the future. And also, just before we get started with the watch along for tonight, you may have heard me talk about movie roulette in the past. Now, what exactly is movie roulette? Movie roulette allows you guys and gals out there to not only support the channel financially. Now, I'm going to talk about other ways you can support the channel for free, right? And so I'm going to switch on my lamp in here. Because Steve tells me I have it too dark back here sometimes. So there we go. Make it a little more light in here. Okay. So, but with movie roulette, during any live stream I do, and that includes these watch alongs, you can give a $5 or more super chat, and you can pick any movie of your choosing for me to watch and do a review of on an upcoming episode of Movie Roulette. I just did one for Menelect. Both of the movies were chosen by Menelect. He gave 2 different super chats of, I believe, $7 a piece, and that's much appreciated. And I did Jeepers Creepers and Host for Menelect. And before that, the Dead Pit Boys, they gave $5 a piece. And I did Into the Pit, the actual documentary about Dead Pit. That was CK's choice. Uncle Bill's choice was Necromantic 2, and I have to laugh every time because I did what I promised I would do, but that one was a hard one to get through. So, folks, that goes to show you that if you're willing to give $5 or more and you suggest a movie or you let me know the movie you want me to watch and review, hey, I'll do it. Now, I know that everybody is not just rolling in money, especially nowadays, right? So there are other ways that you can support me and the channel, and it doesn't cost you a dime, right? So that includes subscribing. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you enjoy the content I'm putting out, hey, hit that subscribe button. Costs you absolutely nothing. And it helps me get up there in the algorithms of YouTube. Okay. You can also like any of the videos and streams that I put out that you especially enjoy. Again, that helps me get up there in the algorithms of YouTube. You can hit the notification bell so you don't miss any programming that I'm putting out. And one other thing, you can share my channel with friends and family members that you think might be interested in the content I'm putting out. And that costs you absolutely nothing. It costs the person that you tell about my channel absolutely nothing. But it helps me out, folks. It supports me. Doesn't cost you anything. Okay. So I always like to say that too, because I don't want people to feel like, oh, Dana's always on there asking for money. No, all I'm asking for is support. And that can come from money, or it cannot come from money. But both ways help me, okay? Also, we've got some polls up for the next watch along. It looks like what is in the lead? I just looked this up. Oh, for Pete's sake. Well, I know Lost Boys is in the lead for Saturday. Um, and, this is getting bad. I look at these things and then I just cannot remember. So the Lost Boys is in the lead for Saturday, May 31st. And Meatballs is in the lead with Grease running close behind it for Sunday, June 1st. All right. Goodness, you think I could remember just in the few minutes that I looked at that earlier, right? All right. So, what's the movie that we're going to be doing the watch along for here in just a couple of minutes? It is Beetlejuice. Sorry for the glare on that. Unfortunately, I was not able to
love this movie.
Thank you, Poe. Poe loves every movie that we've been doing. And this is my little friend that pops up from time to time. This is Poe, the friendly imp. He's in his own podcast studio and he helps me out from time to time, pops in here and says a few things and then he slips back out. But he didn't even let me get a chance to mention mention much about the movie before he hopped on there. He loved the movie last night for happy birthday to me. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get this queued up. And this evidently is one of these movies that starts right up. And so I'm just going to run mine back a little bit. Okay. So on my copy, which is the actual, well, this is a 4K and Blu-ray that came out from Warner Brothers pretty recently. But I am queued up about 20 seconds in on that to a Geffen Company release, and it's got the Geffen logo up there. Okay, so I'm going to give everybody a couple of minutes to get queued up, and we'll get started about 7:15 Eastern time. And I suspect Candace is not going to be able to join us for this. She may surprise me, but in any event, we're going to go ahead and have this watch along, and maybe Candace will be able to join me for one that I do later on. But I did definitely want to ask her about this one because this is her all-time favorite movie, and she loves Michael Keaton. And so I did not want to forget to ask her in any event.
Love this movie.
Yes, Poe. Poe is very animated, folks. He's very excitable. He likes to pop in here from time to time. And I'm glad to have him. But thank you, Poe. So we'll get started here in about another minute or so. So I hope everybody's had a good Sunday. And that, it's been nice weather. It's been nice weather out here. It got a little warm this afternoon, but hey, at least it's not storming. There's no tornadoes or anything like that. Because I'm sick of that bad weather, as I'm sure a lot of other people are. It's very unsettling. So in any event, I hope everybody had a fantastic Sunday. I know we got to head back into the work week, but hey, we're heading ever closer to Memorial Day, folks. And I know a lot of you get off for Memorial Day. I'm going to be off on Memorial Day. Steve's going to be off on Memorial Day. So we'll have to think of something, fun to do. All right. So it is now 7:15 9:15. So we're going to go ahead and do the countdown and get this movie started. So here, well, I'm going to check my subtitles for one thing. Because it seemed to, yeah, for some reason it has Japanese subtitles on there instead of English subtitles. I don't know why it does that, but here we go. 3, 2, 1, press play. And we are off and running, folks. And believe it or not, this is a shorter movie than Happy Birthday to Me. Happy Birthday to Me was quite long for an early 80s slasher at an hour and 50 minutes. And Beetlejuice is an hour and 32 minutes and like 6 seconds. This is a movie. Hey, Gory Tiger. This is a movie that I, remember from my youth. I have very fond memories of the movie Beetlejuice, and shame on me, I still am yet to watch Beetlejuice, which is the sequel to Beetlejuice that came after many, many moons. Um, but I, as always, I have had a fondness for the original Beetlejuice, and we got Mr. Michael Keaton in this playing the title character of Beetlejuice. And I, like Candace, absolutely love Michael Keaton. I can't get enough Michael Keaton. I think I love that man and everything he's in. Or everything I've seen him in, from dramas and comedies to suspense films. He's another one of those actors that's very versatile. This even looks good on the Blu-ray. I know it looks excellent on the 4K because I've watched the 4K, but um, the Blu-ray looks fantastic too. And this is directed, of course, by Tim Burton. I think just for the heck of it, I am going to send Candace the link. Okay, get back in here. So we're getting introduced to Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis's characters in the film, who have moved into basically their dream house, and they're newlyweds. And Jane, the town realtor, is keeps telling them, this house isn't for you. You guys don't have any children yet or anything, which makes them kind of sad because they are trying to have children. So Jane basically tells Barbara that the house is too big for them. And she didn't mean to sound mean, but as a realtor, she really wants to sell this house. And so she tries to talk Adam into it, and Adam's not taking the bait either. You know, the funny thing is that the the last name Maitland, which is Barbara and Adam's last name, is I did not realize for the longest time watching this movie over and over again over the years that the Maitlands own the hardware store, which explains why Adam just goes in there and gets a paintbrush because he works on the model. He's got a model of the town that he's working on. Yeah, and there it is, Maitland Hardware. I don't know how, over time that I miss these things. And this just is like all small towns. You have old guys sitting out there either talking amongst each other or talking to themselves about the old days. And that dog is going to cause a spot of spot of trouble for the Maitlands here. That does not look good. But it appears that although it looked bad, that the Maitlands appear to be okay, other than being soaking wet. So we're gonna see how this is gonna go, right? But seem to be very, very cold, and um, that's not supposed to happen. I don't think. I don't think people's fingers are supposed to light up like candles, and it didn't even burn Barbara. So they're starting to think things are weird. Do you remember how we got back up to the house? Adam is asking Barbara that. And when he actually steps outside the house, this is very weird. Um, it, that does not look like the town. And there are, what we come to find out, are sandworms. And, Beetlejuice will not like sandworms either. They also can't see the reflection in the mirror. Now, they're not vampires, folks. And they don't remember seeing this handbook for the recently deceased before. And so they're deciding that they don't think they survived the car accident. And Adam says the book reads like stereo instructions. So the book is not very useful. So we're hearing some humming. So where is this humming coming from? Who is this? Right? It's somebody that's evidently looking for a job, but they're looking for a job by looking at the obituaries. So we see that Jane, and I guess that's Jane's daughter out there, and they're in their mourning clothes because they are mourning the deaths of Adam and Barbara. And they see that rule number 2 in the book is the living won't usually see the dead. And we see that Jane already has the house for sale. And oh no, somebody is moving in, and there we see Catherine O'Hara here. I love Catherine O'Hara as well. She's been great in a lot of movies, including Home Alone, which Home Alone was after this, but um, I really love her uh, as Mrs. Deetz there. Well, actually, the second Mrs. Deetz. But we see that she is from the city, and um, she doesn't really like this country bumpkin kind of lifestyle, and she wants to take this house and make it her own, much to the horror of Barbara. So Delia is not Lydia, not her mom. Um, and Lydia Deetz is played by Winona Ryder, who Winona Ryder's another actress that I really, really love. We also see that Delia is an artist, a kind of weird artist, but And, I know people have qualms about Jeffrey Jones. I'm not going to go into that on here. Um, but despite, you know, some things in Jeffrey Jones' personal life, I always thought he was a really great actor, and he's great in this. Um, there we have Ortho there, who is Delia's friend, played by Glenn Shaddix. This movie is actually chock full of great actors and actresses. So Adam's very happy that he's discovered that what he and Barbara are ghosts. So there's some funny things, but unfortunately, the living can't see them.
My! Ew! I wasn't ready for that.
In fact, you were not. No, I told you, Poe will, make appearances here and there. And Barbara's upset because she says, "What's the good of being a ghost if you can't frighten people away?" I think that sandworm's a little pissed off there. So Delia's still, you know, intent on gutting this house and making it, what she wants it to be. But Charles and Lydia want to leave it as is. Um, and Barbara and Adam are going to have a fondness for Lydia in the coming scenes. So we're going to see that Lydia can, for whatever reason, see Barbara and Adam. Maybe because she's tuned into that otherworldly or otherworldly entities, I guess maybe I should say. And Barbara says that little girl saw us, and he says, "Honey, nobody can see us." And she said, "But she did." Well, gang, I'm going to have to take a short break, but for anybody that's still in here, continue to watch, and I will be back in a few. Okay, gang, sorry about that. I am back. Um, and got me a little snack, got me some Doritos. So it seems that Barbara and Adam have, I guess, learned from the handbook that they can go to see their caseworker, Juno, who's supposed to help them out. And so Lydia's found their way into the attic where Adam has his model of the town. And Lydia's also found the handbook for the recently deceased. Meanwhile, Barbara and Adam are still waiting to see their caseworker. Here's the shrunken head guy. I always liked that dude. And they forgot the handbook, and everybody looked at them like, oh, newbies, you know. So there's Juno. So they explained to Juno, um, one, that they're very unhappy. And she's like, well, what do you expect? You're dead. And they also say that they want to get rid of the people that have inhabited their house. And so Juno basically tells them, if you want them out of your house, get them out yourself. And they're like, we tried. And Juno said, yeah, you tore your faces off and stuff like that. But it doesn't do any good to do those things if the living can't see you. And so Barbara starts to say, Beetlejuice, what about that guy? And Juno says, no, you don't want his help. He doesn't work well with others. So Beetlejuice used to be Juno's assistant, but he was a troublemaker and he went out on his own. And now he's a freelance bioexorcist. Claimed he could get rid of the living and he got in more trouble. And so the way to bring him back is to say his name 3 times. But Juno says, I strongly suggest you remove the Dietzes yourself. So Beetlejuice is trying to get this fly to come over here with a Zagnut candy bar. They even make Zagnut candy bars anymore. I know. Gang, I just got a message, so let me y'all continue to watch. I'll be back real soon. All right. Sorry, folks. I'm back. I wanted to respond to a message. Unfortunately, Candace won't be able to join me. I just got confirmation on that. Her mom is sick, as I said, so Candace needs to be with her right now. So Lydia is now telling Delia that there are goats in the house now. And so Delia's basically telling her, I don't have time for this. I'm having a dinner party tonight. So now they've said Beetlejuice 3 times, and now they're inside the model. I think this is kind of cute how they do this. They're digging inside the model, so they're literally, digging through fake grass and cardboard to find Beetlejuice's grave, basically. And there he is in all his glory. I always like this. I think Candace does too, where he talks about seeing The Exorcist 167 times. And it keeps getting funnier every time I see it. And he's trying to tell him his qualifications. It appears that the Beetlejuice is a horn dog here. And then he has the same shirt as Adam does. So to get back home, they just have to say home, home, home. So this is Delia's wonderful little dinner party here. There's Mr. Dick Cavett as one of the party guests. And it doesn't appear that her party guests are getting along very well. And then, much to Delia's horror, Lee announces that she saw some ghosts. I always love this, where the party gets totally out of control, and everybody starts to sing and dance to, I believe, the Banana Boat song. And they cannot control their own bodies. I always found this scene funny and creepy too, towards the end of it. And you guys and gals will see that are watching along here. When the hand comes up out of their, I guess that shrimp cocktail and grabs them. And Barbara and Adam think that, we did it, and let's watch them scatter, thinking that they will be scared to death. So Lydia's come up to tell them the bad news that they want them to come downstairs. Delia says you can wear any sheets you want. So Lydia tells them, the ghosts don't want to come down from the attic. Well, all of a sudden, nobody's interested anymore because the ghost will not make an appearance. So now they're up in the attic, and Lydia's basically telling them, these are nice people. Why can't we just leave them alone? And Charles um, has noticed, the model, Adam's model of the town. Unfortunately, Ortho has found the handbook for the recently deceased. which he steals. And Beetlejuice is basically antagonizing Adam and Barbara more, making fun of their attempts to scare the Dietzes away. So now Beetlejuice has, turned on the juices, he said. He's turned into a giant snake. And they are scared of that. But it seems as if Beetlejuice is not only, content with just scaring people, he wants to hurt people. So once again, Beetlejuice is pissed off at the Maitlands. And so now Beetlejuice has got his sights set on Lydia. And Barbara says, leave her alone. She picks Beetlejuice up and he produces spikes on his body and causes her to drop him. So apparently Beetlejuice has conjured a strip club or some kind of adult entertainment for himself in the model. And she's like, Adam, why did you build that? And he's like, I didn't. So now they're back where Juno is. And there's a football team that has died, I believe, in a plane crash, who think that Juno is their coach. And she's like, she tells them at one time, I'm not your coach, your coach lived. And Juno tells them, hey, I created the whorehouse in the model because she wanted to get Beetlejuice out of the picture. The character of Lydia, I've always thought, was very goth before, goth got to be a big thing, right?
My! Ew! I wasn't ready for that.
And Poe made an appearance again. Now they're getting a little more creative, it seems. So now Beetlejuice is going to try to get Lydia to set him free. Well, he's going to try to trick Lydia, basically. So he can't really tell her his name, so they're going to play charades. So she said it twice, and she's like discovering that he was the snake. So Barbara's saying, I can't go through with this. I like Lydia. So Barbara explains to Lydia that being dead doesn't really make anything any easier. During this whole movie, Lydia is always, wanted to be dead. And in fact, she tells Barbara, I want to be dead too, like you guys are. So Barbara says, we've decided we're just going to ask your family to stay, but Ortho has convinced Charles and Delia that the way to get this shrewd businessman, Maxie Dean, um, to help them out and give them money and all that stuff, is to prove that there are ghosts there. So also is going to see if he can, because he's got that handbook. He's going to see if he can make them, come around. So Otho is saying that he had, needs something personal of theirs, as to which Lydia says you'll have to go to Goodwill, but apparently Delia must remember something. So they've got their wedding clothes. So we're coming up, folks, on the last quarter of the movie. Um, this is going to be where all the action is, the main action. So Barbara is unfortunately disappearing. and is reappearing in her wedding dress. And the same thing is going to happen to Adam. He's going to rematerialize into his suit from this wedding. But we're going to find out that this is not a good thing. Because they're starting to look really, really bad. So Otho doesn't even know what's going on. And Charles says, it's enough, Couldn't you stop this? And Otho doesn't know how to stop it. And so now Lydia, becoming desperate, turns to Beetlejuice again. And so Beetlejuice is telling her, in order for me to get out of here for good, I've got to get married. So he wants to marry Lydia. And so she finally relents and says, okay, just help him. And he says, sure. But you know what you got to do. And he says, it's showtime. And it is indeed showtime. Well, it wasn't so fun now that their guests went through the roof. So Otho was trying to escape. And Beetlejuice puts him in a leisure suit, which just about kills him. So he thinks, I've gotten rid of the Maitlands. So now I'm free to just go wild now. And he's in his wedding clothes. And Lydia is in a somewhat of a wedding dress. And the Maitlands are trying to say Beetlejuice three times, and Beetlejuice keeps making like their mouth fall off and stuff like that to prevent them from saying anything. It seems that Delia's artwork is taken over too. Excuse me, folks. I've been sneezing a lot of allergies, I believe. That scream that Beetlejuice has when Barbara tries to say Beetlejuice. And so it seems that Barbara has managed to conquer the sandworm, and the sandworm has seemed to have taken Beetlejuice out. And now that Otho is not doing his ritual or whatever it was, the Maitlands are not dead and decrepit anymore. And now it seems that the Maitlands and the Dietzes are going to become friends now. And Lydia is no longer just doom and gloom. She's making friends at her girls' school. Um, and she's no longer looking, all drab and gothic and just, basically waiting for death. So Lydia's helping him out and helping Adam with his model. So uh, she had a big math test coming up, Lydia did, and she got an A. And so she's like, so can I? And so people that are watching this for the first time around may wonder, what is it that they promised Lydia? And so we're going to see a nice little uh, way to end the film here. And so Jumping the Line is playing, and we're going to see what happens here. And so we also seen Charles is reading a book for the living to be able to live with the dead. And Delia has made a sculpture of the Beetlejuice snake. So we're seeing Lydia rising up above the staircase and dancing in the air, just like they were during the Banana Boat song. But she's doing the Jumping the Line song. I always thought, like I said, that this was a very nice way to tie up the movie. So you may be wondering what happened to Beetlejuice. Well, here he is, and he's in the waiting room waiting apparently to talk to Juno. And he's sitting between the voodoo guy and the guy who's had his head shrunk. And he takes a look at his number. It's going to be a very long time before Beetlejuice is going to get seen. But he looks over at the voodoo guy, and the voodoo guy's got number 4, which would be the next one. So he tries to distract Voodoo Man there, and takes the number 4 and gives the Voodoo Man his long number. Now, the Voodoo Man is not stupid, okay? And we're going to see that what happened to that guy next to Beetlejuice is going to happen to Beetlejuice. He's going to get a shrunken head, which was also a nice addition to the ending of the movie. And then we're back to Lydia dancing to Jumping the Line there. And the football players are on the staircase dancing with her. And even though there's nobody in here right at this moment, I have had a few people in and out, and I had Gory Tiger pop into the chat, for which I'm profoundly thankful. I'm thankful for those of you that did pop in and out of here at different points and times. And for those of you that didn't get to watch this live, of course, you can feel free to watch this on the replay. Whenever you have time, you can sync up the movie and watch it along with me, just like you were watching it live.
Love this movie.
And once again, Poe needs to exclaim his love for this film as he does. Well, last night he loved the film. Tonight he loved the film. So I think we're good as far as Poe liking the film so far. He hasn't hated one yet. But I will stay with anyone that may pop in here at the end until the credits completely roll, as I always do. Again, I hope everybody has enjoyed this that got to pop in here at any point in time. Again, if anybody has any suggestions, if they think that I'm having these too early or too late, please let me know. I want to have these things at a time that works for the majority of people. And if it's not a time thing, perhaps it's something else. And, as long as you're not nasty about it, if you can give some constructive criticism, because I want everybody to be able to enjoy these that would possibly be able to enjoy them, right? But I hope you also have enjoyed the little Poe exclamations from time to time during the films, and he may make appearances in other um, streams as well, or maybe on videos. There may be a little more interaction on videos, and I'm hoping to be able to add a guest to the movie Munchies when I do another movie Munchie. So be sure to be on the lookout for that coming up soon. And I believe we are about to reach the end of the credits. And I'll probably be getting off of here pretty quickly because it doesn't appear that there's anybody in here right now to have any conversation with after the film, but that's okay. Not a big deal. All right. So we have officially reached the end of the credits for Beetlejuice. Um, oh boy. Sorry about that. Darcy is barking. So I'm getting ready to get off of here. And so I will tend to her and see what's going on with her. But I want to thank everybody that was able to jump in here at any point in time. Thank you, Gory Tiger, for getting into the chat. I've had a fun night tonight. And now I'm going to, get a few things done. And then I'm going to relax for the rest of the night. And as always, I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do before I do get off of here for the night, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have a fantastic rest of your Sunday, folks. And I'll see everybody next time.